Hi Anya, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, very good, thank you. Yeah, well, like many other marketing agencies, we've had our eye on Thursday for quite a while with some of the wacky things that they're doing. With you being at the forefront of that, as you know, what's it been like for you, Anya? What's it like to be that intern who's had the face everywhere?
It definitely came as a shock. I think people obviously have had an eye on Thursday's marketing for a while, but I don't think any of us quite anticipated how much it would blow up. It's been absolutely amazing. Honestly, the people that have messaged me, the opportunities that have been like offered to me, um, and yeah, it's just been great. And like people really like, but I did a like on my leaving post, so many people were like upset that I was leaving. And I was like, I
Oh,
felt really bad. I was like, God, maybe I should just stay.
so
um
rewind a bit before you joined. Then you're studying at University of Bath. So
yeah
tell me what you're up to there and how you got the job at
yeah
Thursday in the first place.
so i I did my undergrad in politics with economics,
Okay.
and then I was meant to do a placement year, but it got cancelled because of COVID. And I was going to do it in recruitment. And then I was looking for some internships, because I had also decided to do a master's, um, after I graduated, still at the Uni of Bath in management, just because I felt like with my placement being cancelled, I sort of was lacking a bit of real world experience that other people had got. And the course is very like, it's like HR modules, operations management, accounting, econ, like it's very like world focused, like business world focused. So
Yeah.
I thought it was a great idea. And so I was looking for internships and wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but I sort of put marketing and maybe business development just because I thought marketing is a very central component to a business. I thought it'd be a good place to start. And obviously that's what you see when you see a business. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought, why not? So how I got it is actually quite interesting. So I was looking at sort of all the like big like advertise like for big firms, and a lot of them required business like a business degree. Obviously I had done politics, so I couldn't really. Oh yeah. So I did a post on LinkedIn saying that I'd graduated from Bath, was looking for some internships with like in marketing. And my sister, who works for, so she works for a recruitment company called Venetrix. It hires grads for SDR roles. And so she has a really, really big LinkedIn network. That's how she gets most of her candidates. So she shared my post and so many people reached out. So I had a couple of interviews in one day, and then Matt reached out and he interviewed me, and we just got along so well. I loved the
That
first,
from Thursday.
yeah, one of the co-founders, and I was just like, this is what I want to do this summer. And funny, my sister was actually in the same WeWork as them. So she went down to their floor and she literally just texted me going, Anya, you are going to have the best summer of your life. And yeah, so I started the next Monday, and then I was there for 9 weeks.
Wow. So did you know of the brand prior to that, or was it
I
a new?
actually hadn't heard of it,
No?
not at all. Just because I'm like, because it's very London based, and
Yeah.
I obviously was in Bath and then live in Surrey, and yes, I actually hadn't heard of it. But then obviously was fully immersed in the world of
Of
Thursday.
course, and what an exciting! And I think a lot of people hadn't heard of them prior
Yeah,
to you joining either.
yeah.
So what was day one then? Were you full time in your 9 weeks there with the company?
Yeah, yeah. So I did have a holiday, but yeah, so I was working 5 days a week. So sort of for the first few weeks it was sort of just mainly working on the socials, because it had only
Okay.
launched in May, and it was now July, so it still was just like working on socials. And actually the day I got there, it was announced that we were going to be the main sponsors of Bournemouth Sevens, which is a festival down in Bournemouth. So sort of literally as soon as I got there, it sort of was like, okay, order merchandise, get like games planned, like make a schedule. So that was a lot of my work for the first couple of weeks. And then we did Bournemouth Sevens. And then after that, so this is the story of all the stunts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we got back, Matt and George we all had a group meeting, set some targets of downloads, active users, and how we were, and they were just like, we need to increase our downloads users. What are you going to do to get these downloads? Like, we've got billboards out, we've got adverts. Like, what are we going to do? So literally me and Jess, who's the digital creative lead, me and her, we went out for a meeting outside, just literally sat on a bench, and we were like, right, brainstorm some ideas. And it was basically, it was a Tuesday, and we needed to do something on the Wednesday because the next day was Thursday. So we literally were just brainstorming ideas, and Matt and George previously, so before Thursday, it was called Honeypot, and Matt and George used to do these crazy stunts on low budgets of cardboard and the big chalkboards. So we were like, let's do something along those lines. And so we came back, talked to the boys, and they were like, amazing, go find some cardboard. So we ran downstairs to the recycling, and me and Jess first did 2 girls, 1 app, get your head out of the gutter, single download Thursday. So we got into the office at about 7:30, I think, the next day, and then stood outside Liverpool Street Station, and people were looking, but they weren't taking pictures. And we were like, right, okay, let's go back inside. But we knew we'd post it on LinkedIn later anyway, which got a lot of hits. So we were like, let's do something else. And sort of looking around the office, and we had all these pink balloons left over from Bournemouth Sevens and all these helium tanks, and Matt was like, blow every single balloon up, use all the helium. And we were like, right, let's do this. And then we sort of all just like brainstormed ideas. That's sort of what I loved working there. Literally, it was just like everyone just brainstorming ideas together and bouncing off until we came up with the best idea. And that was when we sort of had for a while a joke about me being the intern and like make jokes about it, because we were like,
brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
So then I went out with the balloons, and literally people were taking pictures, people were videoing. I think I was out there for like 2 hours. Quite tricky when the wind blew. Honestly, I'd be walking and all the balloons would come forward. I'd be like, Jess, help me. Don't worry, it's okay.
And all branded on cardboard with the brand, so it all looks quite authentic for him done.
And then and then the next week was the handcuffing, and then we did the dates as well, and then I left. But they're still
doing it. Don't know, you were handcuffed, and what was the messaging around?
So I was handcuffed to a post. Well, I wasn't actually handcuffed. If you zoom in, I couldn't actually get my hands around. But it basically just said it was a joke about cuffing season, and it was saying I got given a budget of £25 to get downloads, and my manager won't unlock me until I get
the 1,000, was it?
Yeah, 1,000 downloads. Yeah.
Did you get 1,000 downloads?
I actually, honestly, a lot of downloads that week. Because on LinkedIn, I think it's got over like 1.5 million views and like 17,000 reactions and stuff.
And that's where it's so exciting, when the kind of like you said, the cardboard, going back to basics, but then you bring it with the digital marketing side.
That's what's so interesting. I've been talking to people about it, and it's like, that's what I think has worked so well, of doing on the ground stuff, but then it blowing up online.
And actually, there'll be people, I know you've featured in Adweek, you've been across various different news publications. So actually taking that content to a digital format, but starting out in the streets. I mean, did you find people were speaking to you saying, what is Thursday? What is it? Tell me more about it. Or did
so a lot of people didn't, they were just like, what is Thursday? And then it's quite easy to say it's dating app, it only works 1 day a week. A lot of people didn't know, but then I think it got to the date stunt, and people were like, oh my God, you're the girl from LinkedIn.
And so actually people probably talking about it and going there to take their own photos, their own kind of social media posts.
I did become a celebrity for a couple of weeks, I'd say.
Absolutely, absolutely rose to fame and almost overtook the brand itself. I think when you Google your name, I did a quick search of Anya Jackson Thursday, and there's lots of obviously coverage around it that comes up. So great.
There's loads of articles in India. Really strange. Really? Yeah, and all like written obviously in a different language, and people on LinkedIn send it all to me, and I'm like, that's so funny.
And so what was it like then? It must have been such an exciting time. Did you want to go back to uni? Did you feel like,
Oh, don't
It
ask
must have
me
been a
this
little bit of a
question.
come down.
Honestly, my last few weeks was, because it literally was 3 weeks of actually just mayhem. Like, I was honestly just replying to comments all day, replying to messages. Yeah, it was just insane. And then I was just like, do I really want to go back? But like, I had my flat, and I was like, I know I really want to come back, and like all my friends are back this year, so I knew it'd be a really, really good year. And then I think sort of my first week at uni, I sort of was like, am I making the right decision? Is this just a complete waste of time and money? And then now I've settled in, and I'm just like, I'm so glad that I did come back. So I'm actually enjoying the course so much. And yeah, and also, like, someone said to me, they were like, you're literally like living the dream, because you've got another year of uni, which is like the best time of your life, and then you know that you're going to have a sick job when you graduate. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So have you found that was a lot of the comments and people getting in touch with you, did you receive lots of job opportunities? And
yeah, a lot of people have reached out, and then a couple of people have asked me for marketing advice.
Yeah.
Am I qualified? So yeah, there were some boys on campus who have started a company, sort of, it's like a car sharing thing, and they were literally on campus, and they were like, oh, like any chance you could give us some advice? I was like, yeah, sure. And I was just like, I was just saying stuff, and I was like, this actually sounds quite good.
Well, you know, once you've got that proof that you've done something and it's worked, what more do you need? You know, you're only as good as your last piece of work. So. And do you think marketing is going to be your direction going forward then? Once you leave uni, do you think that's an area you'd like to be in, or are you just keeping options open at this time?
I'm not sure, because I honestly hadn't thought about it until I was looking for internships. But I mainly just hadn't thought about it because I'm not really a creative person, like overly creative. Like, I've never been good at art, or like I'm not very and then I was speaking to it was actually Gymshark reached out, and they wanted to just have a chat with me, really casual chat. And I was saying this to them, and they said, that's so funny you say that, because I think socials and marketing, you do have to be very logical. And they were saying you have to think what people will think. Like, it's not all about being creative. You do have to be very, very logical, and it's not all about creativity. And and it really made me think, and I was like, that's why I think me and Jess, when we work together, she's really creative, I'm very logical, and literally just the combination of us two, like, we used to just come up with these ideas. We're like, God, so good.
I think also the nice thing is, trial it. What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. I think it was like on my first day, Matt and George just said, whatever your idea, just say it. No idea is a bad idea. And that was like my motto.
Yeah. And actually, when you remember brands or you remember individuals for the great ideas, you don't remember the 10, 20 ideas they had prior to that failed. You just remember the good ones. But if they hadn't have gone through that, I mean, even yourself, you said that your first didn't take off like the others. So you could have thought, okay, this strategy doesn't work, but you kept on to it, you tried it.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? You know, nobody talks about it. You've not lost anything.
Yeah.
So.
That's literally what we used to do with, like, when we were figuring out the wording, we literally would just be slacking each other across the office and then just working on it, rewording it, and then suddenly if someone would be like, that's it, perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to have a company that'll embrace that and take it on and is willing to take risks, and I think that wouldn't work in all instances. So to join a company in that stage who's so on board with being different and edgy was just
and also just like a dating app that only works on Thursdays is just so fun to market. Like, it's just stuff you can do. I
even love the fact that they pull through somebody else's Instagram feed just to through to the website. No names.
I honestly, I had the best time there. I absolutely love everything they do. And have you seen all the stuff they're doing now?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh my God, they're literally just everywhere. Like, people just send it. They've made it onto all the massive meme pages across the UK, and it's insane.
I think now also, because they've escalated to this level, people are going to listen to it a bit more or share it anyway, or they'll definitely grow followers. So I think, they've just got to carry on with that ride at the moment, really, haven't they?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think what you did takes obviously confidence. And I think if you'd have gone out there, well, you wouldn't have come up with the idea if you weren't a confident person. But do you think that having had this experience has given you an increased level of confidence going forward? Because obviously, whilst you're studying for a degree, you haven't necessarily been exposed in a lot of cases to commercial world, and it can seem a million miles away, and it can be quite a daunting thing, and your confidence can be sometimes quite low. Do you feel, having had this experience, you think, what a confidence boost it's given me?
I honestly can't even describe to you what a confidence. If you asked me like this time last year whether I would handcuff myself to a post station and stand there with a massive sign and everyone look at me, I'd be like, absolutely not in a million years. But it really, really did. And I think it honestly was just like the office atmosphere. We all just want to make Thursday work. Like we all love it so much, and we were all just like so proud of the boys and what they've achieved. So we're just like, God, we were literally, we just want to like impress you and like and just like succeed. And so I just literally didn't even blink an eyelid. I was like, yeah, sure.
No, and actually I think if you go out confidently, it's not embarrassing. If you stood there thinking, I am mortified about this.
Yeah, I think when it was first, because I was kind of fine with the first one, because I thought it was me and Jess together, and then it was like, I'm going to be out there by myself, and I was like, okay, whatever. Go do it. And then just like all the messages I've received, and like it really is just, it honestly is such confidence boost. And yeah, I just feel more that I can achieve anything I want now.
Of course, and with confidence you can, I mean, yes, you've got to have the skill set, but people buy into confident people. You could have the same message delivered twice, but if you believe in the person telling you that message, then you're on board, aren't you?
Exactly.
Buy into. And have you kept in touch with the guys at Thursday then?
Yeah, I have. They had a Halloween party 2 Thursdays ago, so I saw them all there, and I was just like, guys, you're absolutely smashing it. And they were like, it's honestly been absolutely mental. It's just like quite sad watching it all from afar, but
yeah, you never know what the future might hold.
Yeah, I mean, they now do after party every Thursday, so they get a bar and all the single people go. So hopefully over Christmas when I'm back at home, I'll make sure to go to an after party, and then I'll see everyone there. So
do you fit the criteria? Are you single?
It's
got to be the right answer. Forever single. And I guess there'll be a lot of people now who consider doing an internship who've been inspired to take it on. What would your advice be if someone's thinking, should I do it? Is it for me?
Absolutely. Sort of, what do you have to lose? I was a paid intern. I would make sure that you're paid. I think interns should be paid. Make sure you're comfortable in the company 100%, because you don't want to be somewhere where you feel like you're being put down, and your ideas are being ignored. And also, don't think that big corporate internships, I mean, obviously it depends what you're going into, are like the be all and end all, because don't underestimate startups, because they're probably going to be more likely to hire you, and you'll have more of an input there. Obviously I was this forefront of the campaign, and literally the opportunities I've been given from that is just absolutely insane, and I definitely wouldn't have got that if I was at some big firm in their marketing department whatsoever. I wouldn't have that exposure. And literally just, also don't underestimate the power of LinkedIn. That's how I got mine. Just message everyone. Literally find the company, find who, if you're like applying through another website, find who's reading your CV, message them, because that counts for so much. And also just message people through LinkedIn. Make sure you connect with them, connect with loads of people, and just be confident, and just don't let, like, if you get rejected, don't let it put you down. Like, it obviously wasn't the right thing.
Yeah, no, totally agree with that. And I think, like you say, LinkedIn, the power of LinkedIn is amazing. You're pretty much a couple of clicks away from being in communication with anybody, aren't you? And I make it personal as well. Like you said, if you're looking for a job somewhere, find out who the person is that you're speaking to. Don't make it dear sir, madam, because it just looks like you copy and paste job. But I think you've proven that internships are great for businesses, but they're also great for the individual.
Definitely.
Story. No, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. And
thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to tell us about your experience. We shall keep an eye on your progress, and I'm sure you've got a very bright, positive, exciting future ahead of you, Anya.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.